Hello. Just gonna do a little stream of my usual market replay of the day. So today really wasn't too eventful for my system. If you guys watch the stream, you know we moved lower throughout the day. They're about 4384. So we moved about 20 points lower, probably a little more, and we kind of recovered on the end of the day. So just what I saw before that. So gotta get the chart replay. Pretty easy to do on Sierra. I hope everyone's been enjoying the streams. This is something different, just trying to make it so if anyone wants to see what I'm looking at, what I'm using, then stuff like this will be usable. With my system recently, I've kind of I have a pretty set in stone of what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to do. Now I just need to do it, and the doing it part is the issue at the moment for myself, but slowly overcoming that the more data I'm collecting. Right now, if I would have taken all the trades I should have, I'd be at a 70% win rate. Here we go. I haven't been getting it for too long, but these trades are from the 10-6 and 10-10, 10-11. Try and do it every day now just to get a good idea of what we went through. Maybe formulate some levels, maybe some ideas of why we did some stuff. Alright, so now it's all loaded. We have our main chart here that we mainly look at. And off the start, we were hovering above 4400 psych level. These 4400, 4300, 4200, stuff like that. Those levels are usually pretty key for the market if we want to claim above them, claim below them. So the first trade I saw today would have been, let me go, right at the open almost. What I'm looking for is, once we get there, I'll show you guys. You can see off the open we have pretty decent buying right into this low volume node. I'll show you guys where the low volume node comes from. Alright. So there's the first rejection of that low volume node. And at this point I thought I was missing the trade. I thought I missed the short. But we are holding above VWAP at the moment. And what I'm mostly looking for is to see price, see mostly sellers take control at the high and buyers become trapped. So we're slowly getting there. I'm going to show you guys my other screen. Alright, now we broke above the low volume node, and this is my other screen. I don't usually show this one on, I don't show it ever on the stream. Zoom in here. You see how we pushed higher? We kind of have a little bit of low volume at the highs. You can see on the volume up here, tapers off, tapers up here. That's kind of what we want to see. All right, go over here again. Get a little more speed. What I'm looking for is the price or sellers to become, or the buyers to become trapped at the highs, and then a retest of that area. So here we go. We got the move. So you see price went up, low volume on the delta down here. If you can see that, we have high 137, 26, 69. This is 0.1 decimal or 0.01 decimal. So It's actually 1,370, 260, 6,900. And what I would do, what I've been doing is once we make these little areas, I'll put my box, place my sell order. Oh wait, that's only for 2. You want to do 8. 8 MES is what I've been trading lately. So we do a sell limit touch. So say price does come here but moves too fast. A sell limit usually won't get filled sometimes, but a sell limit touch will, and a sell limit touch chase is what it's called. It'll chase price up or down, trying to get you filled for the best it can. So now that we're in, I'll go back over here and a little play. So now all I'm doing is waiting. Stops above the high up here. This is usually what my trades look like. Let me slow it down a little bit. So over here on the main screen, you can see 262, 295. Not the craziest buying, as you can see. But on the delta down here, like I said, it was just showing high buying, really strong buying right into this low volume node. And what I get this low volume node is from this chart. It's a regular, I use a yearly chart, a yearly profile. So bring this up here. All right, so you can see right here, right where this low volume node is, we have a nice little area of low volume. It tapers off right into the middle here, and these areas, you could mark this whole area if you want it wider, but I like to get a little pinpoint. So we have this over here, not too bad, but another confirmation would be coming over here, and you can see, easier to see zoomed out, from here to here, low volume, it dips in, it's lower than the average around it. So we have tapers off up here. I have a high time frame. High time frame just means we gap through this usually, or it means more to the higher participants, higher time frame participants. So that's where the low volume node comes from. It did get pushed through, but that's fine for me to still take the trade because we have the selling structure. We have buyers trapped at the highs here. Probably past buyers too trapped at the highs. And we have some liquidity coming in the market up here. This is new liquidity coming in, and we'll just see what happens. I run a Renko 5 tick on both my charts, this one and the other one, and you can kind of see the same structure moved up, and then we touched it now. And my usual target will be 6 points, so near VWAP, I suppose. And 6 points because if you take the average move from high to lows, it's about 6-7 points on average. This one's a little more. This one's about 9. It was a kind of violent morning. But I could make more, but I like to have a 3-point risk, 6-point target. And if I'm right 70% of the time, then it works out. So let's speed this up. You can see we're trading inside value at the moment. Let me move this out of the way. And I have the 15-minute over here that I use. You guys might notice. It helps me see price at kind of a higher time frame with this up here. We'll move this here instead. It doesn't work. Doesn't look good. And price is trying its hardest. Let's pause there. Price is trying its hardest, moving higher, and if I had my stop right at the high here, then I would have been stopped out most likely. But have my stop a little bit higher, just because if we're going to push above these highs, then most likely we could see higher prices. And you can see there's some liquidity up here, so I would have been more confident as new liquidity is coming in. And over here, this high delta area on the price, around 4,405, and this liquidity here could act like a magnet to pull prices lower. So saw that on Bookmap. This isn't Bookmap. What I use is just Sierra, but it's very similar, just not as, I don't think it's as close to what it could be. My profile seemed a little messed up. Go over here now. Alright, and now we hit that delta area. You could target this delta area, but it's just not what I like. Let me make sure this is, that's why. Let me fix this over here. Sierra doesn't like to always save your settings for some reason. Alright. There we go. Fixed it. So now we're below value area. I'm still looking for lower prices. You could consider this bullish. I didn't take this trade this morning because it just, if you look at this trend line on the 1 minute, it just seems kind of bullish, but the consolidation at the highs with trap buyers would have been a great signal to get in. I was really contemplating this, but I didn't do it. One, because I had to deal with an HVAC guy, dealing with the AC system at my place, but also just wasn't very confident. And that's a big issue right now for me, just confidence in my trades. But collecting this data has helped out a lot. As I say that, we should probably collect some data. My entry was 4407. Oh wait, 4407. My target reason, 6-point average. And the 6-point average is kind of just what I've gotten from doing some testing and just marking the highs and lows while prices trading. So it could be different. It's just what I like to do. And we're also kind of targeting value area low. Oh, maybe not. Well, we're targeting VWAP at that. Maybe. My profiles are all messed up. That's why. And with the trade that we're in currently, because we're testing it, it's just taking forever. This consolidation with holding the trend would, for me, just it would be taking way too long. And you could even look to get short again here. More strong buying action coming into this. Pretty high volume as well. Many entry points. So if I wasn't dealing with the HVAC, I probably would have took this trade. But that's why we have replay, so we can get the same feel, idea. Some selling at the highs right here. With some, this is what I like to see. This would have been actually a great entry. We pushed into this area, a low volume node at that, above value area high. So we're above the normal auction, we're above value area. So prices can be perceived as too high on the shorter time frame that we're looking at. And we like to see strong buying coming into the zone, neutral, delta, sitting when we're in the zone, and then coming out of the zone. We kind of want to see strong selling, showing that buyers could be turning in the sellers, which is very possible. And this 15-minute over here went from very positive to -7 here. So when we see delta flip like that on a 15-minute, it's kind of a good sign. That would have been my 6-point average. And now I would move my stop to break even and let my runners run. Continuously selling. It's 275, 146, 108, 187, 150. Not much selling here at the 400, but price come back down to it. A little support at these levels, like I was talking about, is expected. And my runner is, I'm kind of just targeting a high volume node down here. Let me kind of just targeting this high volume node on this 1 minute. It's about 33 points, which is pretty decent for if you're just trying to get some runners. And lately I've been trying to let my runners go as far as they want until market close, but sometimes it doesn't work. Like today, that wouldn't have worked. And I would have gave up about 30 points if I just did that. So some decent little right here. I forgot about this. Strong buying delta. 1,579 here at this 4,400 level with very high volume, showing that they're trying to support prices, but they might not, and we might see the buyers become sellers. Now for this trade, I would want to see this high volume node for this little area be defended on a retest. If we did retest, like I was saying right here, where's it at? 1,579, very high. We retested the 4,400, and we're trying to move lower. Currently it's at IB low, so I've been trying to learn a little more IB in the investor trade. Very useful. It's not something I've mastered. Kind of just talking to myself right now, but that's fine. Maybe someone else will find use to this. So this would have me feeling a little fearful. Why is, oh, the drawing didn't show in here. $13. Yep. So we did. Oh, I guess I can move this higher. Yeah. We kind of defend this area, but we kind of push above it. So that push above into value low would have me a little fearful, but only because the market has been uptrending mostly. So we're kind of trading counter trend. As like the past 3 days or so have been bullish. And we did reject at yearly value area high, so that's pretty big. And if you look here, just continuous selling. Buyers are trying, but they just keep getting ran over. And if you would have been watching this real time, this would take a lot of patience to trade. But that's what we're in the game for. This is what it looks like on this screen. You can see my 44392 90 area where my target would be. Let me fix this. Tons of volume sitting down here. So we could expect a bounce once we go into this area, and targeting these high clumps of limit orders. It's pretty decent for any shorts or longs or your targets. And it's also kind of a low volume node in a way. We'll just make a new one right here. So low volume node. It might get filled later in the market, I'm not sure. But low volume node, IB low, and all this volume would be a good sign. I'm pretty sure price pushed down lower. So we'll just have to watch. Realistically though, I wouldn't want to give up 30 points of gains. And these low volume nodes are very powerful. They just aren't always the best. If that's what I've been trying to get better at with my new system, waiting for the retest. Waiting for the retest has been key in getting my good entries. Those orders are still sitting down here. There we go. Nice defense of this low volume node and IB low. But you can just see buyers aren't, they're trying heavily. There's 10,000 volume here, 10,000 volume here, 9,000 here, when the average is about 3,000, 7,000. So buyers, they're definitely trying. They're just not really seeing price move in their favor. And we broke this trend, so now we're starting a new trend. I like that. Nothing on that chart. So far, if I was still in this trade, there's nothing really telling me buyers are going to take control and move prices higher, except for this little reaction at this low volume node. So, can't say realistically I wouldn't want to close this trade. I wouldn't start to become fearful, but I'm still targeting this clump of volume below us. even now in the replay, I still feel fearful, even though I know what happened. Which I really need to work on. Trust the system. If anything, say we do come up here and hit my my stop, it's break even. I still have my 6 points, which is nothing to complain about. And now we see the point of control shift lower. These point of control shifts show that price is accepting higher or lower prices, and we could move lower, but not always. And like I was saying, with all this volume down here, it's not surprising that we'll see point of control shift. And that would be my target, my runner. Running right into that volume. A little bounce, like I said, probably would happen. I wasn't here for this part of the market. I left around 9, so even if I would have, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been trading. And once we hit that volume, it's not surprising that we'll bounce like that, which is why I don't want to put my targets lower than the volume. Back at that area near VWAP, 4,400. I did not see any real reason to short the low. I mean, to long at the lows, except for possibly all this volume getting transacted, all of these sellers here at the lows, right into this volume of presumably buyers. Which I know Carmine, he took this trade, and it makes sense, but for my system, it just wouldn't have worked. And it's only 9:56. You know, the market's still open up until 3. I guess it depends on where you are, but for me, 3:15. But I can mostly do my trading early in the morning, which is nice. And we gotta fill out my data, so get that finished. All it is looks like this. Put my entry, my target, or my entry, my target. So first target would have been 4402. Second target 4390. We'll round up. I can really get rid of this tab. Complete column. Runner close. Sure. My stop would have been around 4411. And now we're moving above this area. We're moving above the 4400 level. Supporting above point of control, bouncing off VWAP. This would have been honestly a good way to long. But I don't like to trade inside value. But I know some people took this trade. I stop. 11. Was it reached? No. My stop average, I just drag these down. D16. Now because we're rounding up. It was about 3.25, but we'll say 4. Just a win or loss. It was a win. The pullback price. So pullback price is just when we saw price pull back. Take a little focus away from the trading because gotta collect that data. So we'll say from my entry from here, the pullback price would probably be in here, so around 5 points. Yeah, about 5 exactly. So with that info, we would go on our sheet. My smart self didn't get the price down. 4404. Price this. 4404, we'll say. I think it's actually 4403. And for these, we just drag here. Oh, make sure I didn't mess anything up. Drag these down. And usually I fill out pictures and notes and whatnot. Alright, so we did not hold above VWAP. I was gone for this side. I'm kind of blind at the moment. We saw all this buying at the VWAP, really. Not too much, actually. Buyers just were not being aggressive enough to move prices higher. And sellers were just keeping on it. And I'm pretty sure I did take a trade around this time in the market. Let me see. 11:39, so about an hour I would have took a trade. And that trade was a fat L. Which is alright, it happens. And we'll put in our data. Speed prices up. Possible trade that would have been kind of in my book, but because prices are trending lower, I'll speed this up a lot. So usually if I probably wouldn't have taken this. I probably would have just walked away from the market. But you see this area. See prices are coming into it. Decent amount of selling moving into this area. It's not a low volume node. Oh, it is a low volume node. Slightly. You gotta be kind of, can't just call every low volume area low volume node. And that's where you get stuck and you can take a lot of trades that are just low quality because you thought it was correct, but in reality it wasn't the best. It's hard to say. For the first reactions, what kind I base my, if I want to take the trade, and my first reaction at this, strong selling coming into this. We show a little bit of neutral buying, but we don't see any strong buying coming after. So we go from 85 to 7 to 261. There's not a lot of conviction there. And the retest, we just see more selling and not much buying. And with this not showing much buyers, I probably just wouldn't have taken this. Also on the 15-minute, -4, -46, -8. There's no delta flip. This does not make me think that prices are going to come higher. We are at the lows of yesterday, so that's an idea. It's hard to say. And that would have stopped me out most likely. Let's see. So say I put my buy limit here. No, I wouldn't have been stopped out. Just not very. I mean, maybe. Now we have a delta flip. A retest of this area at very low. We only moved about 4.5 on that rally. What time is it? About 10:58. I took my trade at 11:39. On the second retest, we kind of saw what we would have wanted. Minus 1,661. And then neutral buying. And then some decent buying coming after. So this actually would have been a decent trade. But I'm trying to trade more with the trend lately. So this is just not trading with the trend. This is really trading against the trend. There's no key levels around us at all. And buyers are still not showing too much conviction. Sellers are still just heavy. Let's just go faster. 11:39. You might be thinking, well, if you held your short, you could have made all this profit. You could have been, instead of getting out here, you could have got out here. And you'd be right. But in the long term, it's better to take profits and just live to trade another day. Oh. So there's that. I think that's what I saw. So when I was sitting at my desk, so I did come back for this trade. I saw the heavy selling coming into this area. It's not a low volume node really. So I kind of did not do that correctly. But I did see this. I did see the delta confirmation. So I moved it slower. Would have had my buy limit here, just like this. Would have been filled. I actually got filled about here, I think. So a little bit lower. And as you see, as we're trying to push into this little zone here, sellers just cannot push it lower. They kind of become trapped. Not really. And we get a little move higher. I was targeting 6. Could target like BWAP, but 4.5. And I've been considering changing my target, my average target, but my data still just says 6 point is the basic pullback average. Oh, actually it shows 5 now. So we should see. Go back here, fill out some more data. Some buying here at the value low, but just not enough conviction, not enough trying to push us higher. And you can see on here, we have some sellers sitting above us, kind of tapped it, and some more buyers below. And I was feeling pretty decent in this trade. I was feeling a little confident. I was happy with my trade. I was happy with my idea. But you will see that I would be proven wrong very soon. Oh, there we go. And that's what happened in real life. I delete my zone and I look for the next best trade that looks like this. Fill out the rest of my data. We'll keep this on like a 6, 5. We do see a delta flip on the 15 minutes, so that's not too bad. Which it was good trade. It kind of just ran my stop. They got me. If I had my stop a little wider, it'd be alright. But then you're risking more points on each trade. And every trade can't be perfect. So we entered at alright. Moving a little too fast. Get all this ready. Tracking your data is not the fun part at all, but it's something you need to do. 4385. My target was 6-point average, and I probably should have better reason for my target, which I'm working on. But we'll get there. 4391. Second target would have been 4400. Runner, we got stopped. Let me turn this on. My stop would have been 4381. We'll say 4382. Reached. Yes. This. And actually my target would have been 4382 as well because we got stopped. Loss. Pullback price. So the price we saw pullback, or the price pullback at would have been about not much at all. About 4 points. I'm bringing my average for my pullbacks down, so that could be an idea for next trades. All right. Runner profit. Oh, no. This is what we look like for the data. Pullback average actually come down a lot more, from 6 to 4. But that could be these two here. Yeah, those make about a 5. And we just need more data to really get an idea. I have my personal data sheet over here. Which shows oh yeah, I guess the average is coming down currently, so that's cool to see. You could possibly look along this, I suppose, but hard to say. Like I said, we had the strong selling, neutral, and some buying, but we haven't touched the zone yet, so there's the touch. I still just went along this after being stopped out. Not just because I was stopped out, but because of trend. Every rally is just getting sold into, not holding. Still moving lower. We are seeing a delta divergence right here. So price is moving lower, but delta's moving higher. And we have some liquidity here sitting. Some limit orders. See what happens. And price just continues lower. This is why I'm just trying to trade with the trend. This could have worked if my target was wider, I suppose. They kind of took me out to the tick almost. But even that, my entry, we wouldn't have moved higher at all. The highest moved about 4.5. Which kind of is lining up with the new average, so. I think Carmine and Investitrade, and this is what he saw, which I see now. Tons of selling coming into this, let me get this on the right. There we go. Tons of selling on the delta, strong selling on the 15-minute, and then a flip on the 15-minute as well. And over here, some 418, 387, 358, some very strong selling down here at the lows. That's a wide 5 tick. What the hell? 2.25. So that could have been a reason to enter, but I'm pretty sure we never get the retest, which is what I'm mainly focusing on. I'm not saying it's the best way to trade. I'm not saying it works all the time, but it's just what I've been noticing, what I've been trying to get down. Because usually I probably would have took this trade. It's not actually in a low volume node or anything, so no, I wouldn't have. Because I focus on profile. Slight low volume node. There's a slight low volume node I'm talking about right here. And that's how powerful this is. If you really want to get some great entries and want to be very aggressive, low volume nodes are the way to go. They're just not always reliable. You have to take a bunch of trades for it to make sense. Gonna have to do some more testing, see what the averages, what if they're changing. That's 12. 9. 7. 5. 8. 9. I think we'll stick with the 6-point average, because the market has kind of been consolidating while it's pushing higher. About 1:30. I usually step away around now, so we're just watching what happened. I haven't even reviewed, so this is my review. Crazy day though. Yeah, I was right in the beginning, about 20 points, 24 points. And you can see value has shifted higher, so point of control has shifted back up to here, around the 43.94 area, 95. This is also showing that prices are accepting higher. which is nice to see if you were long. I was not. But we have this area we have to get above 4,400 IB middle and an area past selling where we rejected right here. No, I kind of rejected. It is slightly of a low volume node also. Like that, I suppose. And value area high, so if we reject a value area high area, we could move back into VWAP point of control, back into value area, which I don't believe we do, but that's what I would have been thinking. Nope, and we're seeing we kind of moved out. But that move out and come back in the point of control, it kind of worked. If you were trying to trade, it would probably only got about 4 points. That average is actually making sense now. But these trades are just not for me. And we are kind of rejecting this. Oh. Very high did shift higher here, so that's just showing prices are accepting higher. And if you do want to trade off VWAP or point of control, definitely could have got a point of control long with your risk looking like so. Could have got trade off this little dip into the 1 minute area. That's just not how I trade. I was trading like that for a little bit, but in the long run, it wasn't very sustainable. And we're just going to the ending of the day. Back in that area where we first shorted. Showing some more resistance. Just speed up to the end of the day. Yep, we can push higher. Move into this high time frame, low volume node. Like I was talking about before. Shows a little bit more resistance. And that was the day. Well, that's my trading. What we're looking at now for my replay data. Looking about 68% win rate. Pullback has changed to 4 from and my rounding probably isn't helping. My rounding of the prices. I'm only doing that just to keep everything clean. 280. We'll just keep it. Yeah, that doesn't change much, but I've been rounding for all this. And I might stop rounding, but I feel like that might mess up everything else. So I might just keep it. Yeah, we're looking at about pullback average 4. My first profit sums up to about, I got average. Don't need this. Runner average is looking about 19 points, so that's nice. And overall profits is 259 if I would have taken every single trade like I was supposed to. But we're gonna keep working on it, and if you guys enjoy this, just let me know, and might do it some more. Just want to try something else. And yeah, that's the replay. Current day wasn't too bad. We'll see how tomorrow is. And I hope you guys have a great day. So, be safe.